You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Following After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Following After Show.
All right, you guys, Bing is for doing, and we are doing the AFTERBUZZ Following show. It's The Following. This is episode 4, Mad Love. I'm Joe Sanfelippo. I'm joined by Joe Braswell from Grantland.com.
What's up, Flippo?
What's up, Dr. Braz? We also have Mr. Nando Velasquez, formerly from Attack of the Show.
You want to call me it? Call me it.
I'm going to call you it. I want to call him Nando Calrissian, and so I'm going to. Nando Calrissian.
I don't get it.
They arrived just before you did.
Yeah.
Now tonight, this week, we are not.
Wait, was that your Billy D?
That was all I got for Billy D.
No, that was a good Billy D.
Was that all right?
That Billy D kicks the crap out of your Sean Connery. Will you give me one time? That's a better Billy D than I got.
They arrived just before you did.
That's pretty.
See, I can get my Billy D.
Glitch.
Cool 45.
By the way, let me excuse.
Now I've crossed the line. See, got to know where the line is.
By the way, let me excuse my voice too, because it's a little off today.
Yeah, Nando has been screaming all night. He was at a concert. He went nuts. No, Nando's been sleeping in the street. He made his girlfriend mad, and she kicked him out, and so he has nothing. Nando just has a sore throat, you guys.
I was at a workshop where we had a screaming exercise.
That's a terrible exercise.
I know it's not a terrible exercise, and I told people I'm going to lose my voice, and I had to commit. So I committed, and I figured, the worst case scenario, I sound like a serial killer now.
Who put this thing together? Whoever he is, give him or she is, give them a shout out and say thank you.
No, it's cool. I don't want to give him a shout out.
That might be the worst case scenario, actually, that you sound like a serial killer.
I was going to say that.
Well, yesterday I did Walking Dead, so I said I sounded like a zombie. So it's interchangeable, you know.
The worst case scenario, you leave here sounding like a serial killer. Everybody scream.
We should mention.
I'm going to.
I'm sorry.
I'm interrupting.
I'm not trying to tell you how to do the show.
I'm just telling you. I was going to talk about our producer Marissa first and thank her for being an awesome producer.
Hi, Marissa.
Hello, you guys.
Hello.
And we do have to say that Teresa Law is not with us this evening because Vegas kicked her butt over the weekend. Vegas so far has cost us a host on 2 occasions. Joe Braz is back with us.
Yes, barely.
But last week, Vegas confiscated him.
So the odds are between you and me. We're next.
I'll be there in March, man, so I've got plans.
So it's my turn, or you say it's my turn to go to Vegas next week?
That's what I would do because I'll be gone in March. So yeah,
Vegas will suck you, will take you away, suck you in.
I was going to say, you got to pay for it, but you can do whatever you want.
Vegas will suck you in, Joe.
It's not my fault. You did it. Please feel free to tweet us at Following Buzz. All right, you guys, what did we think of the show this week?
Show was fantastic.
I thought so, too.
I mean, it's getting better and better every week for me, and I really, I genuinely mean that. So I think that this week was interesting for me because I felt like it was one of the scariest episodes that we've had so far. But no one died, right? We had no killing. We had no actual violence.
Well, that
Maggie
one guy, Maggie did die, but the one guy in the parking lot.
Whoa, when did Maggie die?
When Sean Ashmore shot her.
Oh, Maggie died. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Megan.
No, Maggie died.
No, Maggie died.
Maggie did die. Okay, I'm sorry.
Megan didn't die.
We had no serial killings, no crazy, Joe Carroll following.
Well, the guy in the parking lot that Maggie killed to get the car. That was it. It wasn't a big scene. That was the one.
But that was surveillance. Do you really feel connected with the surveillance?
Because they're blowing my whole point.
I feel
we had no.
Okay,
let me.
No, don't hit me. Don't hit me.
We had no gruesome murders.
Yes, you're correct. We had no gruesome murders.
No serial killings.
Except for the guy in the parking lot at the Home Depot.
Right. Damn you. I hate your guts.
Except for the one that we had. Other than that, you're 100% right.
I am keeping a kill count.
The point I'm making is the kill count.
I'm keeping the kill count.
Okay. The point I'm making is this episode scared the shit out of me. I said it.
Did you say that?
I did.
Well, I don't even know if we're allowed to say shit, but we just did.
We did.
Twice.
You can say it.
We can say shit.
I'll
Can we
let
say
you
shit?
guys say it.
All right,
Yeah.
Marissa.
All right.
shit.
Well, if Marissa says we can say shit, we're going to talk some shit.
All right. It scared the shit out of me, this episode.
All right.
We'll talk about why, for later, but that was my impressions. And also, I thought it was really well done. I thought it was really, the the flashbacks. I think the good use of the flashbacks this week. I really liked it a lot.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe Joey doesn't belong to Kevin Bacon. It doesn't belong to Ryan after all. I'm beginning to wonder.
I told you that from week one.
I know.
I told you that from week one. But I have an
timeline.
interesting theory for later. But yeah. But I liked it too. It was really good. I love the flashbacks, especially because this is the happiest we've seen Ryan Hardy.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, I can imagine for Kevin
wasted.
Bacon. For Kevin Bacon, it's like it must have been the best scenes for him because he doesn't have to be all
Right. He can come to work with a smile on his face.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. So
What did you do today? I laid in bed with Natalie Z, and we did the same scene 47 times because I just kept forgetting my lines. It was terrible.
Tough day.
Right?
Tough day.
Oh, God. You know, Kevin, you missed a line there. Oh, did I? That's terrible. Let's start from the top.
And we've seen, his biggest, the biggest killer yet, I guess, or the biggest threat to Ryan Hardy yet in this episode.
Yeah, he was tied up.
Yeah.
Duct taped in a bizarre way or clear taped, whatever was going on there.
It was a very, I felt like it was a very Batman, like, the classic TV
Yeah,
show Batman episode. Like,
Will Kevin Hardy escape from the Ricka? Tune in.
Right. Will the Joker let him? Yeah, oh, yeah.
tune in. Yeah, it would have been great if they ended it right there.
Right?
Yes.
Blammo. Wang, pal.
But there were some really,
Wang. There's no Wang.
There was no Wang?
There's no Wang in the Batman. I don't remember there's a Biff.
Wang.
literally and figuratively.
I don't mean you're Batman. That's what you saw? Wang.
If you look close, you can Bruce.
I got Pal. There's a Biff. All right.
Oh, no.
It's all bad. I was getting very antsy when Sean. I was like, "Come on, Sean, what are we doing, man? How long does it take you to sneak around the restaurant?
I mean,
Sneak faster."
that's a FBI
FBI WTF.
There it is.
I have a theory, but I'll
I'm gonna step on your acronym there, Joe.
well, what do you think of the show?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was a great episode. But my favorite. Well, I'll talk about it later on. But I really loved the whole deal with Paul and Emma and Jacob. I think their dynamic is so interesting.
Sure.
Ooh, and I love that they kept Megan. They didn't kill her for him.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's been what I'm really impressed by too is I feel like the performances are really. I was really down on my guy Paul early on. I thought he was gonna stick around. I thought he might die. Aiden Canto. What's his?
Aiden Canto.
Aiden Canto. Who and it's a good thing because we may have him as a guest. So it's a good thing I'm starting to like his
He's supposed to be in
performance.
studio next week. Yeah.
Because but I really was not sure about him early on, and he's like really coming on. I think he did a fantastic job this episode in terms of showing some range and some emotion, and he was good. He was strong.
They let him have some fun with her too. Like his interaction with Megan was really cool.
Yeah, he was really strong.
And there's nothing like having a secret as an actor. Like, I got a secret. I know stuff you don't know. It gives you all kinds of play. And he did it. He played with it. He had a great time.
Yeah.
And I predicted, I think, week 1 or 2 that he was going to be dead. And
I did too.
I think you just wanted him dead.
Well, we said we gave him the red shirt, the Star Trek red shirt.
We did. We made him Ensign Bolin or something. We knew he was going to get.
Man, he's sticking around. He might have a blue shirt on now.
Yeah,
yeah.
He might move into the.
Maybe he might move in there.
I don't know. But his blue shirt. What is that? Is that the science and
Bones?
Yeah, right.
Bones
but that was so did Spock. We are
Spock.
such nerds.
No,
it's unbelievable.
Bones and Spock.
Yeah.
And then I also loved a girl. Now we don't know the actress's name, but the girl who played Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. She's
terrific.
channeling Winona Ryder, as we
She
decided.
was,
Actually,
yeah.
channeling Winona Ryder, like circa Heathers.
Yeah, totally.
Very Heathers. Very it was really great.
Oh, you'll love it. It's really like she sounds. I was sitting there listening to it. I'm like, who does she sound like? Joe's like Winona. I'm like, no. And 2 seconds, I'm like, it's Winona.
Yeah.
Joe's like, I just said that.
I did. But really, like, very Heathers. Very that same sort of serial. Heathers was a serial killer deal, right? That's right.
Yeah, the high school.
Yeah, so very much reminded me of that. And then of course, Emma, Valerie, she's bringing it every week.
Love her.
I love her too. She might F around and make me be a follower, because if I were,
she'll flip you over, yeah?
She would turn me in a second. I might jump in the damn shower.
That shower looked like an okay place to be.
You know what?
I'm
heterosexual, but you know what? I'll tell you what.
You recognize some love when you see it.
Valerie calls. If Valerie's calling me in the shower because I'm covered with mud, I'm gonna have to go. 2 dudes or not. I'm just saying. I'm going to write it down because,
we've hung out in Vegas for a few times. I'm not going to shower with anybody and let you know. I mean, I'm just letting you know now.
If Valerie's in the shower.
Doors closed from now on.
All right.
But
yeah, great performances.
Yes, excellent stuff. Nando, what'd you think about the episode?
I mean, I love that there were a couple of good scenes. Maggie's trap for Ryan, and also Megan escaping. That again felt very, very kind of like movie style. So especially Megan getting away into the barn, and it just felt really, really. The suspense was great. The music was great. I loved seeing more backstory about Ryan, which was really good. Just seeing how tormented he is. You got to learn a little bit about his family. He finally got to share a little bit. So I love that. I love the idea of having Emma, Jacob, and Paul doing their own thing, and yet still there's other serial killers popping into the spotlight, to other followers jumping into the spotlight that Ryan has to deal with. That Ryan Hardy has to deal with.
We'll go back. I want to ask you about the music. I mean, you're always great with the music cues.
Well,
so what did you? I mean, I know we're still looking at some stuff, but what did you pick up on this?
No,
one?
I mean, I didn't look up too. I wasn't able to get lyrics too much on that, because usually I think the lyrics are a little more important when it's a montage.
Right.
And there was a lot of talking in the background and stuff. But I mean, the music for this episode, if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second here.
Right.
But the music for this, there were two songs in particular. The first one is the one that we put on, which was Silver Shrooms, excuse me, my voice, from Farflung. Right. And then we ended the show with Stumbling, Fade Into You.
Yeah.
So that was a good ending. And I believe Silver Shrooms was around the point when they captured Megan, when they got Megan back.
And then you had that moment with Paul and Emma, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, when they were covered in mud.
When they were covered in mud. That was so
I have the lyrics for that actually right here.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's I have mud, you have mud.
Remember when she fell in the mud?
Join me in the shower.
Right?
You may be gay.
I will have to.
Or are you straight?
I'll have to give a better listen and stuff. But yeah. So I know I'm letting people down, because I know people love the fact that I was so into the lyrics 2 weeks ago, and I still am. It was a little harder to
he made me rewind it twice, and we still don't have the lyrics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Nando can't find them, they're hard to find.
No, they're there. I just wasn't able to pull them with my special app.
Ooh.
So that's all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then what about the you mentioned the sort of the family, the Ryan background dynamic. What did you like about that?
I mean, we got the feeling last week about that, when are you okay? When Joe Carroll was... Oh, you spilled something.
Yeah, let's take that sweater.
That's for our streaming viewers. And
right.
For YouTube
those of you who watched us watched and spilled, but the rest of you...
It's a little extra special thing for you guys. But can't take you anywhere.
It's fine.
Well, I mean, last week when Joe was teasing Ryan about how it must be, you're surrounded by the stench of death once again, we got to learn a little bit about the death that maybe he was talking about, that there was family stuff even before these 14 girls that Ryan Hardy is holding dearly to his heart, that he feels that he failed.
Not for anything. I mean, when Maggie said they were a cursed family, and then his sister, I mean, like, I come on, how do you not back that? I mean, Dad died being a hero in a convenience store, right? Mom died of leukemia. Then his older brother dies on 9/11 in the Twin Towers, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's you can walk away feeling a little cursed on that. Yeah, I think so.
And I noticed it in one of the flashbacks, even when what was the sister's name again? Jenny. It was Jenny. When Jenny said to him, if you don't change, nothing's going to change. And Ryan responded back, "Oh, you get that from one of your small groups," which sounds like obviously Jenny's had to deal with it too, by going into some kind of therapy or something.
What does that do to you psychologically? Do you believe you deserve to be happy? And obviously Ryan clearly does not believe he deserves it.
And then to have Maggie even torment both people by making one person watch the other person. That was really going to be effed up.
Yeah, I do enjoy just, on that. I do enjoy still the. I talked about this in episode 2, the sort of slow rollout of Hardy's character. I mean, you learn revealing more. The onion layers are peeling back week by week. You're learning a little more about Hardy. Some of his motivation. His family, his backstory. I feel like we're in episode 4 and we're just sort of digging deeper and deeper into Hardy, and I'm sure more into Carroll. And I do love the storytelling.
And I get the feeling there's still more, because he wouldn't share the mic in the car on their trip to Brooklyn, and then he was in bed with Natalie. He was in bed with Claire, and he wouldn't share right away. So I feel like he said, okay, this is as much as I'm going to tell you right now, but there might even be more.
Oh, he big leagued poor Mike again. He big leagued himself. If he could have gotten that out of that car on I-95, he'd have done it.
I mean, all Mike wants to do is just
Be my friend.
He wants a
And he's
buddy cop movie. He wants to be
right.
partners with Hardy.
Notice, Mike.
Solve crime. Like, let me be Robin. Let me do something.
You and me, it's stakeout. It's another stakeout.
He's like,
I'm gonna grow a mustache.
Nah,
No,
it's not happening.
nope.
But notice, I'll talk more about Mike later. But notice, Mike was a lot more combative with Ryan in this episode.
Yeah,
in the
he stepped
car.
up.
He stepped up big time. He was really.
Well, he went out on a limb this time.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. He was just a bit antagonistic. Even he was like, trying to push Ryan's buttons to get more information, and he was very direct. As opposed to, hey, so here's my life story. Let's be buddies. Let's be pals. Yeah, as opposed to that.
But I really, I as we have some friends that do some big leaguing, and I enjoy a good big leaguing.
Which friends are those?
I'm not going to say anybody's name, but
We have a small group of friends.
small group of friends.
Yeah, there's just 6 of us.
Yeah, I'd say we're.
And me, not me. Okay.
Anyway, I was
Not
impressed
you.
with the big leaguing. I was impressed with the I got 3 brothers myself, and balled up that jacket, put his head on, and he's out. I'm done.
Yeah.
And there I go. I was interested. You said something about Jacob earlier, and his struggle to me was really cool. Like just watching him struggle with the idea of having to kill Megan.
Right.
And like that scene felt legit to me. Like that, I don't know how much different you'd really go with that in real life. I felt like he did a hell of a job with that.
He's also doing this thing too, the acting. He's actually doing a really good job. And again, the Tag Romney flashbacks when he's got the part and the belt and he's got doing the whole thing. He's really, from that to,
Yeah, that one flashback when he's bragging about his first kill up in the attic. It just kind of reminded me of like that one kid in high school who's like, oh yeah, I went to second base with with Jessica or something like some girl's name. Like that one guy trying to brag and be like, yeah,
I totally got stoned. You guys don't even know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was just kind of like very. It was just pretty funny. I just kept picturing.
It was rad, man. Like. I just said rad.
Yeah,
like
rad.
It's 1992. Hey, nice to see you guys.
It could be 85 for some of us.
Oh man,
Rad goes way back.
does it?
Way back. Yeah.
Well, I think it's radical.
Well, that's,
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
But I thought it was really cool. Like, and you get that insight into this creepy little world that they've created, where like there was an intimacy that they all had in that attic. Like, oh, that was awesome.
Well, you
Who's
talked
next?
about that. That was one of your things too. You said the relationship. So seeing more of that triad of Paul. I'm sorry. Of
Jacob, Paul, and Emma.
Thank you, Jacob, Paul, and Emma.
Yeah, well, we obviously saw a lot more today. It was very, very dynamic.
Oh,
their
yeah.
relationship. It's taken different. In the beginning, you could just see that, like, even from the first scene when the 3 of them were together, and Paul and Emma are trying to figure out what to do with this girl, with Megan. Emma kind of shut Jacob down. Like, she didn't even know the secret yet, and she shut Jacob down. It was kind of like, let the big people talk. It was definitely a struggle between the 2 of them, between Paul and Emma. So that was pretty evident that Jacob took a bit of a back seat through most of the episode, and he was obviously struggling with his own secret and his own inner demons, supposedly. Yeah.
And the scene he had with Joe Carroll was really cool. Where like that's what I'm loving about this thing is because they're taking their time and you get that real sense of intimacy and family that he's created with these people.
Right.
Like where he's you do it when you're ready. I was doing an English accent right there.
That was
You hear
pretty
it?
good.
Is that what that was?
I'm just letting you know.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
Like you take your time. When you're ready, you'll do it, and we won't tell anybody, and it's okay.
And again, it's just amazing that he's come off like a father figure to these people, and he doesn't even care that Jacob hasn't killed anybody. He knows it's in him eventually.
Yeah,
he
you'll get
knows he
that.
wants to be a part of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's
already.
interesting too. Like, I mean, we'll get into, but like, I'm, the Kevin, Hardy confronting Carroll about his plan or the lack thereof, sort of calling him out and taunting him how this plan sucks. Basically, when you got a guy in a mask, you got some
Right,
crazy
tacky.
kids running around. Like, you took your own kid. Like, this is beneath you. What is this plan? And I gotta agree. I mean, I'm only 4 episodes in, but I gotta agree. The plan so far it seems a little flimsy. But then on the promo for next week, we heard the big promo guy say, "The plan will unfold." So I guess we got like 10 episodes. That was my promo guy imitation, by the way. I did two. I did two voice. I did the promo guy.
The plan will unfold.
And I do George Takei too.
Do you do
Yeah.
good? Go for it.
Oh my.
Oh
That's it.
my.
It says,
Yeah.
Are you straight or Takei? Oh my. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you. There it is. Thank you very much, George
Seal of
Takei.
approval. Yeah,
That's Marissa right there. I feel we might be slightly off track.
No, what's George Takei? He's right on the money.
It's George. I can't do it.
Anyway,
Oh
so
my.
that
is awesome.
the plan's crappy, and
Well,
it's
But
unfolding.
he admitted that. That was what was rad about that scene.
He
Like,
admitted
Joe was
it,
like,
and he even
"Eh,
dismissed
that was-"
Rick. He's like, I never liked the whole mask thing. Notice the mask is gone today. We apparently didn't like it either. But
over.
here's my thought about the whole thing. Remember week 2 when I compared Jordy to like a level 1 boss in a video game?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like the Glass Joe of
Glass
serial
Joe,
killers.
serial
He's like,
killers.
yeah. So,
Dating ourselves
Bum,
again.
bum, bum.
yeah, we're totally dating ourselves.
Jump. You got to jump.
Yeah, he's the one
Yeah.
that like you just put a quarter in and you know you can beat that guy, right?
Right.
So Maggie, I feel like is level 10 or something like that.
Right.
Maggie went off book, like she even said. Like Maggie was a special person that was going to be extra challenging, and he had her probably saved for later on. So the plan is unfolding a little bit. So I feel like he's obviously, from week 2, he's trying to prep Ryan Hardy up. This is a fallen hero who drunk. They even said it in this episode, a drunk with a heart problem.
Right.
I liked the scene with him and his sister, but where you get to see just how drunk he got, and
Yeah.
that was pretty rad. I enjoyed that. That was awesome.
I feel like that was the funnest scene for Kevin Bacon to play. I feel
Right?
like
Yeah.
he seemed like
You
he
got
was
to have a
having
good
so much
time.
fun
Yeah,
playing a
it was
fun.
very-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it seemed like Joe Carroll really felt, like the character, I like the choice that he's really happy that Ryan is making progress, and he's really happy.
It's like, oh, good for you.
That's wonderful.
That's great news.
Yeah.
The really interesting thing about that too is that he had no problem revealing as much information about Maggie as possible.
Absolutely.
He has not given anything about Jordy or any of the others. But when he heard that Maggie was all of a sudden involved and that her husband died, he's like,
He's like, things are
almost
gonna
like,
get fun.
Let me give you some more information. Like he almost felt like you're gonna
Yeah.
need this information if you want to play against her because she's a tough one.
And
She's
maybe
no
he
joke.
knew she'd go off book because
Yeah.
she did sort of go off book there.
She went
Exactly.
rogue.
She definitely
she
went rogue.
went rogue there.
And which I would think that maybe Carroll knew that because I think that he would have thought of that maybe because if she had killed Hardy, then that would have sort of ruined.
It would have
Joe
ended the
Carroll's
game.
Fun, yeah, the game. Like even her husband's like, you're not supposed to die yet. Early on,
In all honesty, is there a way to lose if you're Joe Carroll? I mean, at this point, is there a way to lose?
We don't know his end game. We really don't know his end game.
Right.
So if we don't know his end game, how do we know if he's winning or losing? He's still playing the game.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That there's no. Even if Ryan Hardy gets killed, he's still got the whole group is out there playing. They still have his son. He's still got the whole
yeah.
the whole game is still being played. He'll just find another hero.
but I think Hardy is the central revenge figure.
He's
in
the
this
central
game.
character.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I'm just saying from his point of view, I don't think that it's a win-win no matter what.
Well, I guess you're right 'cause in the sense that he wants to create havoc, and havoc is being created.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's definitely doing that. But I feel like his end game, what his super goal is, whatever you want. I'm getting really, I don't know, metaphysical or something like that.
Right.
His super goal is something a little
like a Tony
more,
Robbins
is that,
book.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah.
Super goal.
is something we have yet to see yet. So in that sense, it could be a win-lose. I'm sure he has something at stake. You see him. You see him even when he was talking to Ryan, trying to figure out what Ryan wanted from him. So he and you've seen him broken down before.
Yeah, well, I love that he's just like, just ask me. Don't
Yeah.
dick around. You don't need to dick around. Just ask me what you want. I'll tell you. I'll be happy to. You don't have to play a game with me.
Yeah.
I love what Maggie does with the electromagnetic. Like she's. I love the rationale. Like I didn't kill you. I just made it better that I just made it that Joe killed you. I think that was cool.
Yeah, she's very, very, very much saying like I didn't go off book. I'm really sticking to the script here, but
Right.
whatever.
I'm bringing it back. Joe, what did you think? What were your thoughts on the show?
I have a few takes. I mean, like
Tell me your takes.
we talked. I will tell you my
I
takes.
want to hear
Joe.
your takes.
I have takes.
Tell me your takes.
They're coming right now.
All right.
Here it is.
Oh my.
No, don't
don't
steal my George Takei. You stick to your Connery. You stick to your lousy. What was the other one? Your lousy Billy D.
My Lando, yeah, my Billy D was terrible. I can't do Billy D.
What does Billy D drink?
Colt 45.
It's just
We're gonna get letters about Colt
ridiculous.
45. I know.
completely.
I know.
Anyway, so I've got you know what I really just there's a couple scenes I really loved. I really love the whole Mike Weston and Bacon in the car. I feel like every time they come together, like I said, it does feel like Midnight Run or like some sort of like buddy cop movie because it's just like poor Mike is just trying so hard to like impress him and kind of stuff and
Love
Kevin's
me.
completely
No.
not interested. And I really did love that I'm really concerned about how much, to what lengths that Agent Weston is going to please Kevin in terms of, he's going to a lot of lengths. To please Ryan, not Kevin Bacon, but Agent Ryan, Agent Hardy. It's almost like disturbing. I thought initially that he may have been a follower, and maybe he still is, but he's just really, I feel like he has his own thing going on. He really is sort of obsessed with Hardy here.
I wanted to talk about Mike because red flags for me that episode all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode
episode in particular, all over the place.
Really? Because
major
see,
red flag.
for me, I went the other way. I went like case closed, not a follower.
Well, see, me too, because we had every episode we had a little eyebrow raise. In the first episode, it's like, oh, this guy looks, he seems a little in love with Hardy. Second episode, we had the whole, he knew where the. He knew where to look for the dead body. That was weird.
Mm-hmm. Which one? We're talking about the cougar? The cougar
MILF?
MILF?
The cougar MILF. He knew where to find her,
right.
in the swirling glass of Chardonnay.
Yep.
And then in the third episode, we had him standing over, my man, R.I.P., my man, Agent Riley.
Yeah.
Ain't that a bitch?
Ain't that a bitch? You were in Vegas. There was no postmortem here for him because you were in Vegas.
He just had they gave him a few lines, gave their brother a couple of lines, and they had to kill him.
Whacked his ass.
This
That's
is what
how
I'm
it
talking
went.
about. I mean, I'm going to go slightly off track here, but
It is a horror
Kevin
movie.
Williamson.
Horror movie. Black guy dies early. Come on.
Exactly. With the horror tropes, enough already. Black guy's first to go. Really?
I don't know if he's first, but he's definitely the top of the list.
Anyway,
You're
so
going the distance.
Anyway, so my man Ryan, Agent Riley, did not make it. But as you talked about last week on the podcast, that Agent Weston was mysteriously standing over him. Now he was alive when Kevin Bacon left him, but Weston was still there. So there
we
was.
said all this last week when we did the show.
As I said,
we were here. That's all I'm saying.
I was still in Vegas, and I was very hungover and upset about my 49ers.
Yes.
However, I did make mention that Nando said this last week on the
Actual
podcast.
blood on his hands.
Actual blood in his hands. So I was convinced there's something wrong, except for the fact this week, he actually kills Maggie, or what's her name?
Yeah,
Maggie.
Yeah, she kills Maggie. He actually, I feel like he's going to these great lengths to sort of shadow Kevin Bacon. He's saving Kevin Bacon. He's doing all these great things. I really feel like he's just more of a stalker than he is a follower.
I wonder. Now, argument could be made that he's saving Kevin Bacon because Joe has a longer plan for Kevin Bacon. The argument could be made.
He's keeping him alive,
right? That Maggie's off script, and so Sean's character, so Mike's job is to keep that on track.
Well, but I
could be
missed,
argued.
my point is I missed any red flag that were possibly around. So I'd love to hear, Nando, what are these red flags?
Well,
what did I miss?
They're just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really hypersensitive to Mike because I still feel like there's something weird going on. But first of all, him staring at Agent Riley over and over again, the picture of Agent Riley, I couldn't tell. It felt to me like it could have been guilt, but I felt to me it also was. It was also like guilt. I guess either guilt, like that he couldn't save him, but I also felt like it was guilt, like he had to kill him or something like that. He's staring at him, like this is somebody he had to kill. This might be another, like he had to kill Riley because he was in the way. He maybe knew too much. He felt like he was something, and then. More than that was just something. But more than that, he had this sense of urgency this week over last week when he wanted to hang out with Ryan and bond with him and be all buddy-buddy.
Right.
He had this sense of urgency that he had to be with Ryan on this road trip. And he's the one who he predicted it almost too quickly. When Ryan was leaving and it had something to do with his sister, he predicted almost immediately that Maggie was with his sister.
Right, but he knew from the book, right? He knew about the sister from the book.
Well, he knows about the sister because he knows everything about Ryan
because he's a stalker.
He's a stalker, like that, which is fun. He knows everything. It was that which I love when he's like, who was it? It was Jenny, the sister, Jenny. And he ran. He knew. He ran out.
Brooklyn, got you. Yeah.
Here's the thing. This guy was so like in Ryan's face the whole episode until they split up, and then he shows up at the nick of time. I felt like. He was there. He knew Maggie was off book. He knew what happened. He figured she was off book, and he went there to cover some bases. I honestly feel like there's more to this. If not, they're doing a really good job, in my take, to keep me thinking Like, is he or isn't he? But I'm really strongly right now thinking Mike's
I got you, but just to play devil's advocate, I mean, he just seems to me that he's a guy who needs a mentor, and Hardy won't be that, which gives him an opportunity later on to make Joe Carroll maybe his mentor. But it seems to me like, you know, I've met guys in my business that I've listened to my whole life, and I've met them and I've gone like, wow, I just want to hang out with you and talk to you.
We're already friends. It's fine.
And some of these older guys have just been like, well, okay. And I know I kind of get that feeling a little bit like, oh, I've studied your work, I know what you've done, and this is so amazing. We get to hang out, and they've been like, we're hanging out, but we're not hanging out.
Right.
I have one crazy theory that I almost feel like I don't want to say because I feel like
Say it.
I feel like
Say it. No one cares.
I'm just real. Well, I'm hoping I'm wrong here. But in the car, when Mike was still trying to bond a little bit with Ryan, he said he had 3 brothers. One he was close to, and the other 2 he hated or wasn't close to at all. You know, we're not seeing any flashbacks for certain people, and Mike's one of them. And I'm just wondering if
They're
maybe.
dead.
Well, I'm not thinking you're dead, but I'm thinking he's close to one brother.
Maybe Jacob
and that
or Paul?
brother, and that brother might be a relative. That relative might be a follower, and he might be in on it too. I mean, look, Maggie and Rick don't have to be the only 2 family type members that are connected.
That's true.
Well, you know, and we already know that he's had a lot of visitors, and we've only seen probably about 4 or 5 of these visitors. But I will say, just, you know, back for me and Mike with Mike in the car, I'm really, all that's fantastic, and I have to slightly disagree with you so far because I just sort of feel like he's just a stone cold stalker. I mean, I love, you know, he's begging that he's like, you know, he's still calling him sir. Yeah. You know, like, you know, yes sir, sir. And then he says, you know, my name's Mike, by the way. You can call me Mike. I'll call you sir, but you can call me Mike. It's a lot, you know. So he really, really looks up to the guy and really wants to be him and act like him. But we'll see. We'll see where that, you know, that may have some madness in and of itself. But moving on, I actually loved, you know, my favorite bit of the episode. I mentioned how scary it was, and it was actually really disturbing for me. I mean, the whole bit that the whole intercut between what was going on with Maggie and Hardy and Ginny in the bistro, where Ginny makes a mean risotto. I bet that risotto is fantastic, by the way. But Ginny makes a mean risotto in her restaurant there. The intercutting between that sort of faux torture scene and then what was going on with Megan, you know, with her sort of being chased and screaming and the knife being held to her face. There was a lot of like, sort of like, no violence, but a lot of suspenseful, you know, knives in faces, a lot of screaming, a lot of pleading. And I was really disturbed by that. Then cut to Kevin Bacon. He's pleading and begging, and Jenny's pleading and begging, and there's knives being held around, and you cut back to them, and they're chasing Maggie. And I was like, what's going to happen? Someone's going to die. Why? And then guess what? No one died.
No one dies.
You know?
Except for the dude in the Home Depot parking lot.
All right.
And Maggie.
And Maggie herself.
Maggie.
But I mean, you know, but obviously Kevin Bacon and Jenny and Kevin, their horrific experience, they made it out. And Jenny and Hardy, I keep calling him Kevin.
Right.
Jenny and Hardy made it out. And then, and good old Maggie made it out too. So, I mean, Megan, she made it out too. So I really thought that was extremely well done by Kevin Williamson, who wrote this episode. Extremely well done in the writing and really, you know, generating some really genuine sheer terror there without actually having any violence. I thought that was a really, really sort of nice job there.
I don't know that our girl Megan made it out. I think she's out of the frying pan into the fire.
Well, she didn't die in the episode. Yeah, I'm trying to say there's plenty of opportunities for her to die. You know?
They're going to make sure Jacob handles his business.
I mean, Jacob, you know, was almost going to do it, and then you let her go, and then you know, our girl gave her, you know, Valerie gave her the flesh wound, you know, and then we saw that part,
right?
So you know,
it was great when he went back in the basement and saw her in the same position. He was like,
awesome.
What?
Yeah. We did not do your homework for you. You're not going to learn anything.
So I really enjoyed that. I really thought that was really well done and very sort of suspense, but not necessarily, you know, gore or scary. And the last thing I loved was, again, the whole shower sequence. It's just, you know, Emma. You know, Emma is the master manipulatrix.
Absolutely. You make up words anytime you need to.
Manipulatrix.
She's the manipulatrix.
Yes, tonight on Fox.
Next on Fox, the manipulatrix.
That's right.
Well, it was great seeing Paul and Emma bonding.
Yes, bonding.
Right?
Over the mud.
Yes,
she fell in the mud. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really, and that was, you know, I gotta say, in Justified, the other after show that I do on Tuesday nights.
Joe does Justified, in case you guys want to check it out.
We talked when we meaning me talked about the threesome that happened in Justified a couple of weeks ago, and how that was the first threesome on Justified. But it's FX, but we have like a sort of hinted at threesome here on Fox, which is pretty
I would
risque.
say it's heavily hinted.
And we've got not only that, we've got a sort of we've got multiple. We've got gay, straight, bi.
Marissa, they climb into the shower together, all three of them, and there's a lot of like hugging, and it's pretty clear
and
that
mud.
Yeah, there's mud, and the mud's got to get off. I mean, somehow or another. I mean, I'm just saying.
There it is. It all happened.
Yeah.
Well, I said last week, there was going to be a scene that was going to trump the gay chicken scene.
And that was it.
That was it.
That was pretty strong. I mean, so, but I do like, it was interesting to see Emma sort of, be, kind of go off of Paul a little bit when she found out that Paul hadn't killed anybody. She loved Paul. And
No, you mean Jacob.
I'm sorry, Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jacob. When you found out Jacob hadn't killed anybody, she's kind of like, yeah, he did what? And then when she found out Paul was a real killer, and really had it in him, she kind of got attracted to him.
Yeah.
And Paul to her, but then Paul still loves Jacob, and Emma loves Jacob. And so, Emma sees the opportunity and made it all happen.
She's a strong woman, and she's noticing that Paul's a strong man. So, obviously.
And that's the thing. Like, she's written Paul off, I think, up till now as like kind of like a pussy. And then all of a sudden he flips it all around.
Right.
And you got this all backwards.
Shit.
You got this twisted. I'm the guy. He's not.
Yeah, he's chasing down girls.
Oh, yeah.
My man's in the mud.
He's doing it.
She's like, old Tag Romney just had to roll in like, what's happening?
What's going on?
But I will say it's slightly out of character for the Emma that I think I know and love to sort of be really welcoming, and she was very much like, we all love you. Come in the shower with us. We love you.
But that's what you for her you need to be. You need to be a stone cold killer. Otherwise, she's not gonna. That is the what you call it,
the line of demarked.
I don't know what I'm saying. That's her precursor to loving. You got to be this. Otherwise, there's no
precursor to loving.
I don't know.
Is that what is that, a country song?
It's a precursor to loving.
What is that?
Prerequisite?
Prerequisite.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you. I don't like you at all.
No, but what I'm saying is
Emma.
that Emma has been very ruthless and very much, like.
Oh, right. She's been working with the wrong
together.
set of information.
You do this, you do that, and this is the time we see her sort of compassionate and empathetic to Jacob, who's basically effed up.
But first to Paul. This is my favorite part of the episode, because I love how much Emma. She's been working with the wrong set of facts for the last 3 weeks, and when it all comes clean, then you get to see her like absorbing the new reality, and she's like, "Wow, you're the guy that I'm." But she still loves the other guy, but she still loves Jacob. But I think her attraction now is much more to Paul than Jacob.
Right.
Really? I think so.
I think so too.
I think that was the vibe I got. Like, and their scene was so cool.
It's almost like it's mommy and daddy
you're ruining it.
But I'm almost saying it's like she's.
No, but they've done what they're supposed to have done. They've killed people.
No, sure.
And Jacob's he's the freshman.
He's the freshman.
That's it.
Yeah. So they're the two leaders right now.
Yeah.
So what about you, Flip? What did you think of this episode? What do you got?
Well, like I said, my favorite part of this episode is the politics of three. I always think the politics of three is such a fascinating thing. Like, you get three people together, and they're going to have. I mean, eventually they're going to develop a hierarchy. They're going to have 2-on-1. They're going to have all the different right. Yeah. You're going to have all the different possible dynamics when three people are together. And I think the show does a really good job of exploring that, especially with the woman in the middle, which a guy and two guys and a girl. You have all these fun built-in dynamics that you can play with, and Kevin's having a great time.
Jack Tripper.
Right, and where's Mr. Roper's not coming?
No.
But this is my favorite part. And
we should make a drinking game as to how many times we date ourselves on this podcast.
Yes,
right?
I'm bringing up Mr. Roper.
Bringing up Three's Company.
Mr. Roper references.
Three's Company was a show many years ago.
All right. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Politics of three.
So politics of three is what I find fascinating. That you have this group and it keeps switching. The dynamic keeps changing, and now the whole thing is turned on its head.
Right.
And I love that we find out that Jacob has never popped his cherry. He's totally full of shit the whole time. It's all been a lie. And that scene in the attic was so great, because you have this. And I said it earlier. The intimacy of these guys they're telling each other. It was obviously their game of truth or dare, and they're at the truth portion of their game, right?
Right.
And so when was the first time? When was the first time? And he spills this great story about standing on the girl until she was weighted down with water, and it was at least an hour, and everybody's like, "That's an awesome story," and they're cuddling and they're touching and.
That attic part. That's like a bad episode of Felicity or something. You
don't dig the attic?
They're in the attic.
Attic
the acoustic music's going. They're swigging beers. Like what's going on with this attic?
I don't want to wait.
That's Dawson's Creek. But yeah,
I got it
whatever.
backwards.
It's Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Dang it, I got my
Dawson's,
shows mixed.
no, but it's from they're just a little acoustic.
Yeah.
It's like a CW show all of a sudden. Like with them, these are a bunch of stone cold killers.
Well, it's Kevin Williamson, so he can throw
that's
someone
true.
in there. He could throw
That's
someone
right.
in there.
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah, it makes
there you
sense,
go.
right?
Put a little Dawson's Creek in there. Yeah. Anyway.
So it all lines up.
I love those flash. I love the old CW flashbacks.
We loved your Dawson's Creek flash.
Yes.
No, Felicity. What was the other thing I liked about that? I love Jacob's struggle. I told you that earlier. I really love that he is sweating it and struggling with. You really felt him, and you felt Megan. She did a great job. She, that like fear. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. And you could feel her terror. I really enjoyed that. Not that I enjoyed her terror, but I enjoyed the performance.
Yes, I did too. It scared the crap out of me. It scared the shit out of me, as I said.
But
very suspenseful.
We changed some things this week. We're cursing it up, man. We just gotta, we're doing it.
Off the rails.
But really,
we got permission.
My favorite part of it was, like Nando said, the almost, I don't want to say condescending because it wasn't in a negative sense, but the almost paternal turn that Emma and Paul take toward Jacob in that shower scene. We love you. We're not letting you go.
Yeah,
we're not giving up on you. Yeah.
Right.
That was, and you really felt that sense of family and that sense of intimacy, and you got that from the scene also with Jacob and Joe Carroll. When he's like, when you just feel the sense of family he's created for these people.
Yeah.
And that's clearly what they needed. So that really all kind of came to fruition for me. That was my favorite part of the show. That's what I enjoyed.
Yeah, I love to see my man Kevin Bacon, Agent Hardy took it up a notch. He went with that. I went to Loose and Tie tonight too in honor. We both did in honor of Hardy. But when it's time for Hardy to get serious though, when it was really time for him to get down, he took the tie off.
It's gone completely.
Yeah, because when he's working, he's got the loosened tie. But when it's time to go get his sister, he's like, "Oh, this tie, I just gotta go." And he took the tie
is
off.
the problem.
And then, that must be time when it's really time for him to get down. The tie comes off. That's when you do this business.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So we got the various degrees of bacon. Excuse the pun. You get the tie, the loosened tie, the tie off. I got nothing. What else?
I thought we decided we were never going to say degrees of Kevin Bacon.
That was not on purpose.
So it doesn't count.
It was not.
All right, I want to remind you guys, or thank you guys, whoever's listening on iTunes. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you ever want to check us out live, just check us out on YouTube. You can go ahead and check us out, and you can see us if you care to. If you don't, we understand. If you are rating
Teresa's
us,
not here, so yeah.
Yeah, Teresa's not here this
With
week.
no Teresa, there's not much to see.
Not much to see. We definitely
us three.
We definitely got kicked down the ladder
We
quite
need
a
to
bit.
get next time she's out. We have to have pictures of her here. So
Right, we'll put up a
Exactly.
little cutout
on the
of
screen.
Teresa.
We'll put a video screen of her.
Yes.
And if you are rating us, please rate us with 5s. We love 5s. AfterBuzz merchandise, man. This is serious. If you guys are interested in some beautiful yellow and black merchandise, as you see before you, if you're watching on iTunes. If not, there's lots of yellow and black involved. Right. We have AfterBuzz mugs, T-shirts, and various other, what would we say, kitsch?
I wouldn't say that.
All right, well then we didn't.
Who
we have,
says that?
I don't know. I just did.
All right.
We have various other merchandise if you want to check us out on AfterBuzzTV.com.
Right.
All right, should we check out some news?
Yes.
You guys feel into it?
AfterBuzz TV News.
You didn't jump.
I didn't jump.
You did not jump at all.
I can be taught.
I'm amazed.
Pavlov.
I'll salivate if you ring a bell, but as far as
Well, first up, ratings-wise, we talked before about the premiere episode and how it went up with DVR Live Plus 3,
Yep.
which means 3 days, people who watched the episode on their DVRs 3 days after the initial premiere. There's also a Live Plus 7.
Yeah.
And the Live Plus 7 even went up further. So I think the original ratings, I don't know what the numbers on me, I think it was like a 3.3.
3.3 or something
went
like
up
that,
to a
3.2.
4. It went up to a 4.3 with the Live Plus 3. It actually went up to a 5.1 when you include the Plus 7.
Wow.
So that's really good. Now, as far as
That was the name of our old boy band, wasn't it? Live Plus 7.
I can't.
That's
I have
bad.
no
I can't.
idea.
I'm sorry.
It's a horrible.
Anyway,
That was awful.
The ratings for
I'll let you
last
go.
week
Pick
was
me up with a laugh, a courtesy laugh. Nothing. Live plus.
I'm
7.
sorry. I'm sorry. I left Joe hanging there.
It was our old boy band. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nando. Sorry.
No, the ratings for last week were down a little bit. CBS had their live program, their programming back on original content, so they went down to about a 3.9. But apparently their ratings for Live Plus 3 went up higher than ever before. So yeah, so even more. So at least this is a show that people may not be watching live on Mondays. So you can always download it later in the week if you want.
Sure.
But Live Plus 3 is doing really well.
Thank God for Nielsen and everyone else for finally stepping into the 21st century and
right?
counting DVRs and counting DVR. I mean, it's just enough already. So
Well, they didn't watch it on the live feed, so
the
it doesn't
technology
count.
exists, so let's get some accurate
Right?
ratings.
And if
then-
you were ever curious if they knew what you were watching, they do.
Right.
And then for those Kevin Bacon fans out there, just so you know, a little shout out. He's going to be on
Our show?
I wish.
No.
He's going to be on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno next Monday night. So if you tune in to the following next week, then don't forget to change over to NBC. After you listen to our podcast, of
You can
course.
download our podcast.
And you can download you can download it later. And yeah, you can catch some Kevin Bacon. Also, a shout out to Valerie Curry because I believe, according to Twitter, I believe it's her birthday.
It's her birthday.
Yeah, she or at least her birthday week.
I'll take it. I'll
IMDb
take
does
it.
not have her birthday out there. I had to do some searching. Some Twilight fan page, because she was on one of the Twilight movies, has it listed for February 16th. But anyway, a happy birthday to Valerie Curry. If for some
Special
reason,
happy birthday.
Yes, if for some reason you know her or you are her, happy birthday. If you know her, wish her a happy birthday.
Special Valentine shout out to Valerie Curry.
From Joe
Braswell.
Sanfelippo.
From Joe Braz.
Oh, from Joe Braz.
And
Sorry.
a special Valentine's Day shout out to Natalie Z.
Why not? Why not?
I got nothing else.
I got nothing.
I'm sure her husband loved that.
Stay for breakfast. Stay
Special
for breakfast,
Valentine
Ryan.
shout out to Jacob and no, I'm kidding. I got nothing.
We got 3 wet Valentine's Day cards in the shower for you guys.
covered in mine. That's all we got.
We got anything else in news?
No, we're good.
All right, good. You got anything in news? No. Prediction.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Don't give me looks. It's the truth. That's where we're at.
Yes, I'm just saying, you don't step on the drop. It says predictions in the drop.
I'm helping him.
Last time you did the music, woo.
I'll say whatever the heck I want to
You
say.
can do whatever you want.
You know, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say.
I'm sorry.
You're going last.
I deserve that. I deserve it. Go ahead.
Nandolomus, what do you got for
well,
us?
you know, even before the upcoming scenes came up, I'm like, okay, you know what? Joey's getting smart. You saw him spying on them.
Yeah.
He's gonna break out. He's gonna figure something out. He wants to see his mom, and he's gonna try and escape. So we saw, obviously, he's on the phone with his mom. We don't know if that was something planned or if he snuck out. But I think, you know, now that the threesome of Emma, Jacob, and Paul are finally aligned together and they're finally, you know, having fun in the shower, things are going to start falling apart really fast over there. So that's my prediction.
That's your prediction?
Yeah.
All right. Now, it should be pointed out, this is the very first time that Nando can have a legitimate prediction because he'd seen the first 4 episodes before all of us had.
Yes, I've been holding back.
So he's
Oh,
been
it's a
been
big
withholding.
moment.
This is deep.
And it's deep. It's not. I don't think it's a big stretch because unfortunately some of the scenes kind of show that. But you know, I was definitely thinking that before, so I'm going to stick by it. So
Right.
Well, you've seen me go out on the limb and talking about the kids are the wrong kid, wrong guy, blah, blah, and you're like, well, now clearly that's not the deal. So I understand. All right, Joe Brett.
and that lawyer. There's got to be something with that. She's got to have a connection to Ryan Hardy somehow, and that's why Joe Carroll wants her. That's what I think too.
Right.
And so, poor girl, man, that's so mean. Attorney-client privilege, and now I'm going to tell you all kinds of terrible stuff.
Yeah.
You want to get disbarred, or do you want to? Oh, that's a rough spot.
It looks
man.
really good.
Very
Yeah.
rough spot to be in. This is tough, man. All my predictions have come false. I'm gonna go with that. I'm still waiting for Kevin Bacon to get a gun and a badge. I predict that he will get a badge and a gun next week, episode 5.
Done.
The badge and the gun. No more
Badge and
no
gun.
more flashlight. No more drunken flashlight carrying guy. I think it's badge and a gun. Episode 5. Stamping it down, Braz.
Stamping down.
Boom.
Episode 5, Braswell says gun.
Gun at least. Badge
Gun.
Badge gun. Episode 5.
All right, so Nando says Joey breaks out. Braswell says gun for Ryan Hardy.
And badge.
And a badge. I don't know if you can get a
full,
badge.
Full reinstatement.
How does that work? I mean, doesn't the FBI have some sort of recertification process?
It's just,
WTF, FBI.
Just signs a release. Just give him a badge.
You know what? You're back.
Yeah.
Signing the paperwork? No, get out there. All right. My prediction is about Miami. There was a thing at the end where Jenny, which by the way, Ryan Hardy. Maybe there's something in that family. I don't know. But if my sister came to me tomorrow, or my brother and was like, I need you to disappear for a while, I'd be like, I don't know how to do that. But Jenny apparently knows how to disappear for a while. Yeah. That's built in. So, but she said she's got to go down to Miami. She can go down to Miami.
Okay.
And the impression I got was there was somebody down in Miami. Like there was somebody in the fam or somebody connected to the fam. It wasn't. It didn't seem very. Look at that face. What is that face?
No, that was just like I'm intrigued by
you. On iTunes, you had a face.
No, the face was like.
Marissa, did you see the face?
No, the face.
No, I did not.
Yeah, well, there was a face.
So the face was like.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was a.
All
right.
Whatever. I predict there's something in Miami. There's some connection to the family in Miami, and that's going to eventually be another Achilles heel for Ryan. That's my prediction.
Great.
That's all I got.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Plugs.
Yeah, plugs. So Joe has some exciting stuff going on this week. Joe's a producer for Grantland. If you guys have never checked out Grantland.com, it's an ESPN website. You've got a whole series dropping this week, right? On Thursday?
We went up to Lucasfilm and did some Lucasfilm stuff. We have a whole 7-part series on ILM and Lucasfilm that starts on Thursday on Grantland that I shot and produced. So look for that on Grantland.com on Thursday. And Joe Sanfelippo, you have a movie, a real life freaking movie.
I do. Well, I've got a voice on Escape from Planet Earth that comes out on Thursday.
All right.
I play one of the blue bad henchmen. So if you guys, it's a kids 3D thing. If you guys want to go check it out, it's a great time. Take the family.
Yes.
It's got tons of stars in it. Everybody and their mothers in there. Brendan Fraser's in there. Jessica
Alba.
Yeah. Yes, Jessica Alba. Oh, she's the. Never mind. I'm not gonna tell you anything. So go check it out. And Nando, we got anything going on this week?
Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes. Don't make me promote your movie.
Yeah, promote it for me. Help me out.
Jesus.
And for me, I'm just, you can reach me on Twitter at Nando Val.
Excellent. Joe, where can people find you?
At Joe K. Braswell with an S.
And you can find me on Twitter at Joe Flippo.
1P.
F-L-I-P-O.
And Teresa.
And Teresa
at AfterBuzz follow.
Following Buzz.
Noted
Following
network
Buzz.
publicist Teresa Jane Law.
We're going to miss you, Teresa. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
All right. It was a pleasure, you guys. You have a beautiful week.
R.I.P. Agent Riley.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Oh,
hey, look at that.
Necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
All right, guys.
Are we on mic when you after you?